this is Preston Sallin with Home Inspection Carolina, and I wanted to talk a little bit about ways to solve high moisture in your crawl space. There's basically two different schools of thought on this, vented or sealed crawl space, basically vented versus unvented, which is a sealed crawl space. So we're going to go to the whiteboard here now. Okay, like I said, there's two schools of thought on ventilating a crawl space. So let's say you have a traditional house like the old traditional ranch house. You know, sorry, this is not the Picasso here. You know, it was long like this. And you had, you know, several piers along here where if we were looking at the crawl space, and, you know, you probably had a porch on the front porch. You know, the thing is you had several crawl vents. And if you think about the traditional ranch house, it's long from left to right, or very wide, but it's very short from the back to the front. So there was actually really good air ventilation. So you really didn't have too much trouble here with moisture in the crawl space. So if you have one of these and you have high moisture, chances are, if you make sure you open all those vents and put down some poly or plastic, chances are that will fix your high moisture in the crawl space. But let's go to, you know, starting in the 80s, we started doing the McMansion because of truss roofing. We didn't need those interior walls like we did on the ranch house. So now we have the McMansion where we have made the crawl space a lot bigger. And so let's put a 3-car garage on the McMansion, which means you'll have no crawl vents on this side. And then if you put a porch all the way across the back, you have no vents here either. So the problem is we've increased the crawl space, but now we've decreased the amount of vents that we can have, because really you can only have crawl vents now on these two sides. So if you think about it, you've increased the size but decreased the amount of vents. You've actually made it a lot worse from a crawl space standpoint. But if you think about, there's another problem too. If you took a cold drink out on a hot day, what's going to happen? Within minutes, you're going to get condensation on that, correct? So think about those air ducts underneath the in the crawl space. They're just like a cold drink. So they're actually going to pull more moisture in. So it's like a perfect storm. You have a bigger crawl space, fewer vents, and now you have something cold under there that's actually attracting the moisture from the few vents that you do have. So how are you going to get the moisture down and level down in this? You can't just open the vents and add plastic. That's not going to work because of the 3-car garage and the porch. So what you're going to have to do is a sealed crawl space, basically where they seal off all the crawl vents. And not only do they put plastic on the floor, but they put it up the walls as well. The good news is it'll work. The bad news is it's very expensive. So there you have it. Two theories, more ventilation or sealed crawl space. Sealed crawl space will always work, but it's pretty expensive. You don't want to do a sealed crawl space if you don't have to, because remember the first example that I showed you, this is a couple $100. The other one's a couple of thousand. So that's it. I hope you got something out of that. If you have any other questions, please call Home Inspection Carolina 704-542-6575.